everyone, author DL Tillery here, the Mistress of Horror. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, I bet you press that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. I am here to talk about what I was able to utilize from Networking for Authors by Dale L. Roberts. I did a book review a bit ago and I left a 5-star book review. I did a video for it. I left a review on Kobo, Goodreads, and Amazon. So be sure to check out those reviews. I have the review link below for Amazon because it's the follow through review that's on all of the websites. So make sure you go check that out for my detailed and broken down review, as well as the video. I did a video review over here on YouTube. Now, what I was able to utilize recently from Networking for Authors by Dale Roberts. I'm going to be talking mostly about through chapter 5 to chapter 8 and the conclusion of the book. I utilize those areas particularly for my book launch and networking with others for my book launch. So let's jump into what I was able to utilize and learn and exercise from Dale's book. First, we have chapter 5, Effective Communication and Relationship Building. I have been building relationships over the years organically in my author sphere. And I was able to, after reading this book, think about compiling a list of the people that I have communicated with over the years, the ones that I regularly communicate with, and some that I don't regularly communicate with, and reaching out to them again. The people that I regularly communicate with, I do communicate with them weekly and or monthly. We do projects together or just, sparingly do projects. So those people were a little easier to talk to and network with for my book launch. They know about it. They hear about it on a regular. So getting them involved in on the project of it wasn't too difficult. But by utilizing the information in Dale's book for this particular chapter, I decided to compile a list, which gave me actually was quite larger than I thought it would be. I went through my emails, compiled that way. Also people that I met through YouTube and on TikTok and or Instagram. Those are my main sources of places that I end up meeting authors, as well as I used to be on X, Twitter. So I had people that I had met through there as well. So I was able to compile a list of said people and communicate with them through the channels in which they are on a regular. That's pretty much one of the things that I really utilized and thought about by reading this book. And it worked out pretty well, I must say. And it is very important to build relationships. I like organically building relationships. So we're talking about that's more something that's done over time. Having this book in your repertoire will really help you think ahead. And I think that's one of the most important aspects of this book. So you definitely should get a copy so you can be building your network before you ever release a book. And it's never too late, even if you have released a book, to learn to network with your peers and with other people in your sphere. In chapter 6, Dale talks about utilizing email marketing. I did do this. Like I said before in my reviews, I'm not and have not been very good at the email marketing aspects of my business because it was something new for us, like readers and things like that. Once I have read Dale's book, I did start trying to utilize my newsletter more, which is breeds into what I'm talking about now. I added in my book launch party. My newsletter came out like a week before my book released, which was quite useful because I could alert people who are subscribed to my newsletter that my book was launching within a week, and also about the giveaway that they could get involved in to possibly win a paperback or hardback version of the book. I utilized the email marketing portion of it for my monthly newsletter was very essential for my networking with my readers. Now, as far as networking with other authors in this sense, I utilized my book funnel membership and did some newsletter swaps for, you switch off each other's books in your newsletter to find other readers outside of your already established audience. And so I did that through book funnel, utilized that. and did some cross promotions directly with some other authors in my genre. So that is an aspect that I utilized from reading that chapter. I took a lot of notes when I reviewed this book, which you'll see if you check out my YouTube video on my review, as well as the written review. I took a lot of notes. Actually, each one of Dale's books, I take a lot of notes because there's a lot of learning going on. Okay, so that being said, that was the portion that I got to utilize from that chapter. Really, really helpful to connect with people outside of the audience that I currently have by doing newsletter swaps with other authors as well. So that was definitely a key point to mark down. Chapter 7 talked about rejection and setbacks, which I did have some rejections. I have reached out to some of the booktubers that I know. They weren't taking any book reviews currently, so I got rejected as far as that's concerned, which is fine. You expect rejection. It's just something you have to be ready for. And Dale did talk about that, and it's something that happens. The newsletter swaps and things like that. So that's the type of borrowing in a way, because you take someone else's book, put it in your newsletter, and they take your book and put it in their newsletter. So those type of things aren't costly, but it's more of a time exclusive thing and building relationships. So those things don't cost direct money, but they can cost time and energy, which, up to you how much of those you're going to give. Chapter 8 was covering a book marketing and promotion through networking. Whew. I actually wrote an elevator pitch. Dale mentioned that in chapter 8. So I did work on an elevator pitch, and I'm, trying to memorize it. But, if I don't memorize, I have it at different places. But it's good to have an elevator pitch ready for when you do interviews and or podcasts, or like I did for my book launch party. It kind of runs through a short but catchy, intriguing way of talking about your book and getting to the point and grabbing people's attention. So I did get that done thanks to reading Dale's networking book, and then building a solid repertoire with peers. Uh, that is mostly means you're going to be like on first name basis with some of these people, which I already had been, because it's not something you can just instantly do. So again, this is an overtime thing. So important to get this book and keep it and learn well ahead of when you would utilize what's within the pages. Okay. So again, this was kind of going back to chapter 5 when I utilized making the list of the people that would be in my network and I would talk with. And this would be the peers that I'm closer to, the ones that I have built a relationship with over time, that I'm on a first name basis with. That I learned, and like the differences between the different people within your network and where you are in that particular type of relationship. So yeah, I my network, as far as those type of peers, are not. It's not very big, but I don't think that type of relationship, you get a lot of people like that. But I mean, some people could. But I have selective people that I'm very first name basis with, close to, do a lot of projects with, and really respect. So you have to take time to get to know people and build that respect, I think. So I did actually talk with and have some of the people at my launch, which are really cool people that I know and learn and came to know through the author community. So it's very true, building a solid repertoire with your peers. So yeah, definitely that Dale touched on in this book. I also did reach out to influencers, as I mentioned, other people. I send them emails. I sent out notifications about the launch party. I did that and reached out to a good amount of people, probably around 20, 30 different people that I reached out to through email and things. I still was reaching out to some the closer it got to it, but people that could make it, could not make it. It really depends on the timing. My launch party also was very late. I'm parking in on the launch party because it's a one-time event, and people can pick a date for that. Also, going forward, some of this stuff is going forward after the launch. Like you can do your virtual tour, which you know, the time of this video coming out, I'm probably still setting up the virtual tour that I would have. Hopefully I can get quite a few going forward. That would be cool if I can at least get one a month or something like that, but we shall see. You'd see them on my channel or linked to or shared from the other people's channel, whoever our channel I will end up on. But we'll see how that goes. That's really depends on people's schedule. So, but I did initiate nonetheless. And I mean, that's really a lot. That's the stuff that I utilized in my networking for that I used for my book launch, particularly. And in Dale's conclusion about in that part that I utilized, he talked about learning going forward, and it's something you're going to have to continue to do. It's just like your marketing, your promotion. You're going to still continue to network. It's important to extend and expand yourself out there further so that way you can find more readers and connect with more people in your industry. So this book is definitely something you want to have in your library so you can learn to network better for a better author future. But make sure you grab yourself a copy. I do have it linked below. Also have the people who I collaborated with on this video series linked below. That would be, again, SD Houston, Ben Pick, Davin Gamble, and Self-Publishing with Andy. So make sure you check all their videos out. I should have those linked below, but if not, I have their channels linked below. There should be a playlist of all our videos. Some of those could be book reviews from them or whatever else they want, how they want to talk about Dale's book. So you get quite a few different perspectives on the book. And make sure you do check out my book review on Dale's Networking for Authors and see what I thought about it, broken down by each chapter. It is quite extensive. I kind of really get into taking notes when it comes to Dale's books. I will see you in the next video. Stay scared.